4 decades after first topping album charts worldwide, Pastor Jason Alvarez is back with his brand new solo album, Time for Miracles. Jason and his wife Gail pastor the Love of Jesus Family Church, and they've been responsible for planting 152 churches worldwide. Good to have you with us, sir, and thank you for sharing your music today. Time for Miracles, that was just beautiful, motivating, as inspirational. How did you get involved in music? And tell us a little bit about your music career, because we might take a little trip in the time capsule here and go back to the #1 song in 1975, Shame, Shame, Shame.
You know, I was in the studios in Platinum Records with Sylvia Robinson and Hank Ballard and Shirley Goodwin, who were famous back then, but Hank Ballard was a little old, so they went inside to record this song entitled Shame, Shame, Shame.
Yeah.
And so we were all in the studio, and Sylvia looked at me and said, I won't tell you what she said, but she said, "This boy can't sing no more, he's too old. Go in there and shout a little bit." So I went in there, and I began to shout, you know, and the results were Shame, Shame, Shame came out.
Yeah.
And I said to her, "I'm ready to sing now." She goes, "No, that was great." So it was a one-take thing.
It was a one-take?
Really?
It was a one-take
recording.
Thing. It was great.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow, look at you.
It spread like wildfire around the world.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy, yeah. I was...
And then on so many levels, I mean, look at you, this interracial duo right here in 1975. This is, I mean, that's just now acceptable.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you could actually kind of see God moving in your life. I mean,
Well,
his handprint all over your life.
You know, I tell you what's amazing. I'm from Cuba. And at the age of 10, we had to run for our lives, my parents and myself, from Castro. And we wound up in a monastery. So I was raised for 1.5 years in a monastery. That's where I learned about God. And then it wasn't until we escaped here that many years later, after having Shame, 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 I was going to kill a man on a Thursday night. And my wife had gotten saved. And I said, "You going to that crazy place tonight?" She said, "You mean church?" I said, "Yeah." I went to church, and I gave my life to Jesus on a Thursday night, and I've never been the same.
Wow.
So.
And God's used you in a big way. Ministered with Nicky Cruz for many years.
Yes.
Ministered with R.W. Shambach for 30 years. Pastoring church and planting churches now. Man, you've had quite a journey.
You know what? It's been glorious. Not without challenges, but it's been glorious, without a doubt.
Tell us about Time for Miracles and the genesis, the origin of this, and really what you hope to accomplish.
I turned 60, and you know, you think your music ministry or career is over, you know, but I had a word from the Lord. When you're older, I will use you in your musical gift so that you'll know that it's not you, but it's been my hand. So this thing was birthed. Every song on that album was birthed on a Sunday night in our Sunday night services, except for one. It just fell on us, and so we went into the studio and did it. So this is one of them. Time for Miracles. I still believe in miracles. I don't know if it's because I traveled with Shambach for all those years. I've seen so many miracles. I've raised people from the dead, and I've seen such miracles. Just now, my caretaker, his heart stopped for 30 minutes. Back on and off, you know, CPR, on and off, 30 minutes. He went inside the hospital. They told him, all your insides, they're dead. They wanted to give him a number and stop. Bottom line is this: 2 weeks later, the whole buzz of the hospital is, God is a miracle worker. He is now alive. He just pulled out of his mouth the breathing tubes that were in him, and he is the talk of the whole hospital. The doctors are speaking in there and saying, "I want to see the miracle man," because our God is still a God of miracles. So, but anyway, that something was put in me.
Yeah.
And you know, even Lester Summerall, he was one of my mentors. He taught me how to cast out devils. See, and then I hooked up with Shambach. So man, it was like, it was crazy, man. So. You know, you ain't got no troubles. All you need is faith in God. And, you know, it got in me. And so it can't just get on your head. In your head, it has to get in you. And when it gets in you, you know that God is still a miracle worker. So, but anyway.
So how is your music being received? I mean, because people remember you from back in the day, but they don't know this fiery preacher who's sitting in front of us.
Well, yeah, it's been, the gift that has made room for me throughout my life. So wherever I go, if I sit on a piano or if I grab my classical guitar and I start ministering to the Lord, it changes. It becomes a game changer for me. I could be sitting among 50 people and I don't stand out. But if I grab a guitar or a piano and I can minister, immediately I stand head and shoulders above the people. Because your gift always makes room for you.
Yeah, and God shows up.
Yes, that's really the truth.
Now, with planting churches internationally, I want to touch on this because I mean, the Lord's going to do something here. But when it comes to miracles, we could say where there's no safety nets, when people got no other way out, there's a heightened sense of expectation, anticipation, trust, reliance, and God shows up. Do you think we'll see that in this nation? Do you think people today that are watching right now that need a miracle in their life, how can they tap into that and just simply believe?
I believe that it's going to take God, the God of miracles, to turn our nation back to Him. The church on his own, with his fancy preaching and whatever, it's not going to make it happen. We need a God of miracles. Miracles has always been the dinner bell for people to have a turnaround. Now, whether they're kept by miracles, I don't believe that. They're kept by the Word, but they're turned by miracles. So I believe that God is going to sovereignly pour out His Spirit upon our nation so that there will be another turnaround, in our nation back to Him. And then people are going to have to be hungry enough for Him to want to know Him and not just miracles. But He's still the God of miracles. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is still the God of miracles. I mean, Abraham, He said to Abraham, is anything too hard for the Lord?
Right.
Anything. Somebody says, I have a cold or I have a cancer. What's the difference to God?
Yeah.
God is still God, and He treats every symptom as a sickness, as a disease, and He heals all our diseases.
Yes.
Because He's the God of miracles. He is the great physician, and you have to just believe. I mean, how can you not believe that? How can you? I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know. I was born again, and I was raised and just seeing miracles. I've seen miracles. I've seen people raised from the dead. I've seen cancer slapped out of off of people's bodies. I mean, I've seen amazing things. I've seen Shambach, just in a mode where there was such an explosion of power that I questioned what I saw. I mean, that's how crazy it is. You're believing for miracles, and then when you see something so overwhelmingly amazing, you go, that can't be true.
Yeah.
That's the kind of miracles that I'm talking about. It's amazing. But miracles are there for the taking, for the receiving. All you have to do is just believe that God is, and that He's a rewarder of those that diligently. He is always ready to do what only He can do so that He can be glorified.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Pastor. We're going to enjoy your music again just a little bit, but I want to encourage you right now, if you're standing in the place where you need a miracle, call us at Prayer Line right now. We'll have that number right up on the screen. We stand together with you. You're in a place of faith right now to receive from God. So pick up that phone, call 1-800-365-3732. Let's connect in faith, and let's see the Lord come down, intervene, and transform that situation you're going through right now. To connect with Pastor Jason Alvarez, you can go to jamm.org, or as always, you can go to our website, harvest-tv.com, find an easy way to link back to his site and get a copy of his new project, Time for Miracles. Coming up later, author Catherine Zoller talks about her new project, Rhyme and Reason, the series on Revelation. But up next, we're going to hear from Pastor Jason again performing Everlasting Love. We'll be right back.